what's up? Check out this blunt and honest review from the Jock and Nerd Podcast. That's us. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the rug boy.
What's up, guys?
Jock and Nerd. Okay, fellas, let's get into this week's Patreon-sponsored listener movie review. We are talking about the 1977 movie Sorcerer. Here's your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This movie is almost as old as I am for a 49-year-old movie. This one sponsored by, dedicated to our Patreon member and buddy, Keegan Martin, who signed up for another year. So he gets another movie. Thank you, Keegan. Appreciate the support. So, look, we're doing it. We haven't done one of these in a while. And this came up.
For those that still listen to us and we haven't done theirs, we will eventually at some point do yours as well.
We did most of them. We did like 80% of them.
Yeah, if you're still doing it, you're still
waiting
on Patreon,
on one,
let us know.
Let us know, yeah. If you really want us to do it, let us know. If we forgot about you.
We may talk you into a different movie, but we can work that out. Maybe that was the problem. I don't know. But before, has anybody heard of this movie?
No.
Yes, but I thought it was a different movie. I thought it was about sorcerers.
Anthony, have you ever heard of this movie?
No, I said, yeah, I don't know if you heard me. I said no.
No. Okay. Interesting. And just recently, I think I mentioned this at the end of the show last week on YouTube. I've been seeing a lot of shorts and videos about this movie, kind of getting people to watch it again. And many years ago, this dude at work, this old hippie, we would talk movies, and randomly one day he's like, "You ever seen Sorcerer?" And he'd lent me his VHS tape, and then I had to go find a fucking VCR to watch it and return the tape, and I rewound it. I remembered to rewind it. So I had seen this movie, but it's a very interesting movie, and why nobody has heard of it is also kind of interesting. So this movie produced and directed by William Friedkin. At this point, William Friedkin can do no wrong. He had just made The French Connection and The Exorcist back to back. Both, I believe, nominated and won some Oscars. So in 1977, he's kind of like a blank check guy, if you will. He's
a Friedkin genius.
He's a Friedkin genius. Screenplay by Wallen Green. This is based on a book by George Arnault from 1950 titled The Wages of Fear. And there was a French language movie made of this book in 1953. So it's the second adaptation of this book. Now, why does nobody know about this movie? It's because the movie was released June 24th, 1977. Now, just 30 days earlier, May 25th, 1977, saw the release of a little independent film called Star Wars. And that's essentially why nobody made this movie. Star Wars comes along. Just everybody wants to see it. Kind of changes the kind of movies people want from Hollywood for a long time. Still, some can argue. And the movie is entirely on YouTube. Also, I should mention, if you want to watch it, you can rent it. It's on Amazon. But somebody did just put the whole thing up on YouTube. I was like, oh, here it is.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'll put a link.
You guys said it last week, but I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, sometimes I'd rather rent things because I know what I'm getting, but I will put a link to it in our episode notes here. You can watch it. You can watch along on Rotten Tomatoes, sitting at an 84% tomato meter, 83% popcorn meter. Metacritic has it at 68. And on Letterboxd, what's this on Letterboxd, Anthony? Do you know?
It's got a high score, 4.3.
That's crazy. Oh, shit. 4.3 when Project Hail Mary was what, a 4?
4.2, I think.
4.2. Man, 4.3. Very high Letterboxd score. This movie originally
4.3 Project Hail Mary.
Oh, so same. Originally, the movie's budget was like $2 to $3 million. And as we'll discuss, it ballooned and ended up being a $22 million movie in 1977 is insane.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money in 1977. Unfortunately, this thing only made $9 million worldwide.
Lame.
When all was said and done. You starring in this movie, really the only person you're going to know is Roy Scheider, coming off of Jaws. And you have either these other people, Bruno Kremer, Francisco Rabal, Amadou. You're not going to know any of these people. But the music, and also music by Tangerine Dream, which was like a fun psychedelic band, I guess. The movie,
I like that. I love Tangerine Dream soundtracks.
Yeah, they're very synthy.
Yeah,
it's very synthy. Rated R, runtime 2 hours and 1 minute. Anthony, what happens in Sorcerer?
Title is very, very misleading.
Yes, that's also another reason.
This is a movie about 4 criminals, let's say, or not even, 4, criminals. Let's go with criminals from different parts of the world that end up somewhere in South America, and they're all poor, and they take on a job where they have to transport dynamite to a location to put out a fire. That doesn't seem to make sense, but that's how I guess dynamite works.
Yeah, I guess.
And the catch here is they're all poor. They want to get out. They're going to get paid a shit ton of money. The reason they're getting paid a shit ton of money is this dynamite is very dangerous. And any wrong move with this dynamite on this 200-mile journey, and they could die. And they have to go 200 plus miles or kilometers or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
In the middle of the jungle, and they have to deal with all sorts of shit while they're doing it.
218 miles. Yes, it's leaky dynamite. That dynamite is having a prostate issue. I hate when my dynamite is leaky and I got to fucking wiggle it.
I got some leaky sticks.
I got some leaky sticks here. They got leaky sticks. Anyways, Anthony, let's start with you. Opening thoughts going in, not knowing what the fuck this was, what it was about. I'm very curious. What did you think when it ended?
Yeah, didn't know what it was about. Title completely misled me.
Yep.
Read a quick synopsis and went, that doesn't even make sense for the title. Am I watching the right movie? I like a good 70s movie on occasion. They're gritty. They're sweaty. They're usually about bad people.
Yeah.
It's new Hollywood, and this movie is all of those things. It's bad people that you're somehow rooting for, that are sweating it up in the middle of the jungle. That's actually filmed in the jungle.
Yeah.
And they got to do some stuff. They got to do some stuff that's not the best for some money. And this is a theme in a lot of the 70s movies, and it's present here. I enjoyed the movie. I liked it. I wouldn't say I was enamored with the whole film, but there's something about those 70s movies, and this is one of them, that they just draw you in. I thought the beginning, like, it takes a while to really get going, but once it gets going, it's pretty good. Some of that stuff, I went, how the fuck do they even film that stuff?
Yeah.
Some of it's a little dated in terms of, like, just the effects. I mean, there's a lot of, like, zooming into people's faces.
Yeah.
Things like that. But overall, I mean, it transports you back to the 70s and how they like to make films, and how all of these films seem to be just rebelling against those big showy films of the 50s and 60s. And it's all very present. And all I could think about was, man, these guys are sweating a lot in the jungle.
They're so sweaty the whole time.
There you go.
Dirty. Ruggs, what'd you make of this once it ended?
This is like a Apocalypse Now in the jungle without the war.
Yeah.
It's like a personal war.
Yeah.
It's a very simple story, and I like that it's direct to the point. Like, they do this thing in the beginning where they show each criminal, and you find out why they're on the run instead of doing it in a flashback, which is like, that's what you would do today, is that you'd start the movie with an action sequence.
Yep.
And then all these guys would meet up, and then they'd talk and have like flashback exposition.
Yep.
So this doesn't do that. This does a completely different thing that is cool, because it basically starts 4 different movies, 4 different characters, and then these movies converge in the jungle, where all these characters basically commit some kind of crime and have to escape from what's coming to them, which is like probably death or getting arrested or having to pay a penance. So they all kind of converge in this jungle to avoid that. And then the movie sets off with this kind of life or death suicide mission. And it's very simple, and it's very easy to get involved in the film. And there's nothing confusing about it. There's nothing like, oh, why did they do this? Or why? This is like everything that happens in the movie makes sense. So I didn't have any issues with it. So I was able to actually enjoy this film for what it was. And like Anthony said, yes, it's a 70s movie. It has that element of bad characters, but you're following them, and and they're interesting. You want to know more about them. You want to know what if they're going to make it. If being bad and doing bad things, if it ever amounts to a happy ending, is it a cautionary tale? We don't know.
Yeah, it's fate. It's how you deal with fate and what's coming to you. I really like this movie. I think because of when Star Wars came out, when this came out, this may be like the last like gritty 70s auteur film, because I think everybody's tastes changed because of Star Wars. But just the grittiness of the grain of the film, the sweatiness. I love the simple story. The tension in this movie when they start moving those fucking cases ratchets up, and they manage to keep it up. And it's so good the whole time. The practical effects, like you said, Anthony, there's shit in here. You're like, how the fuck did they do this? It looks, I mean, it's real. They did it. It's all, I went into some behind the scenes of how they did it, but the bridge scene, the explosions look fantastic. And there's very little dialogue. There's a whole French part in the prologue. You don't hear any English till like half an hour in or like 20 minutes in, but I love that there's very little dialogue, and it's all just told through faces and shots and cinematography. But I enjoy this movie because of its 70s
What about the
nature.
grittiness, like the reality? Like, did it make you feel like you were really there in that poor ass town? And
all of it. I felt like the prologue.
That wasn't even a real place. That was movie magic. They built that place, right? Is that true?
Shot in like Dominican Republic and Mexico. But the beginning, the prologues, like you said, setting up the four characters is very interesting. Basically, the first dude is just like a hitman. Nilo just shows up, kills a dude. And then we go to like Israel, and there's like a Palestinian militant and a bunch of dudes getting arrested. This is Qasim. He's a demolitions expert, but he escapes. So he's running from the military. Then you go to France, and there's a businessman, Victor, and he's accused of like bank fraud. So he's running from the law. His fucking friend shoots himself in the head when he tries to help him. And then you meet Jackie Scanlon, which is Roy Scheider, an Irish gangster who, this is so crazy. They hit a bingo game in a Catholic church being run by the Italian mafia. And now he's got to run from the fucking mafia because they want him. And then when this is happening, when you saw it the first time, was anybody like, where the fuck is all this going? Like, for a while, you're like, what is going on here with these four stories?
Yeah, I was like, the second story, I was like, okay, this guy's on the run too. And then after the third one, I was like, okay, these are all the characters. It's setting it up. They're all on the run. And you could tie that together at a certain point in time. You realize that they're all kind of running for something. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I was a little like, what is happening here? And I cheated and went to Wikipedia and was like, am I watching the right movie right now?
Yeah, it is.
What is this? And then I saw what was happening. And it hooked me right away.
Yeah.
Because it's always fun to see bad people.
Yeah.
Even though these are bad people, it's fun to see bad people, like their origins, and then them knowing that these four people somehow, somewhere are going to get connected to one another and have to do stuff together.
And they got to have to cooperate and work together. These random fucking people from all over the world put into this situation. Yeah, because then it just cuts to like jungle. And you're like, what the fuck? And you
only know how one person got there. You don't really even know how the other three guys got there.
Yeah, when we meet Jackie, he kind of becomes the main point of view.
Right.
Because then his guy is like, I got a place you can go. You're not going to like it. And then we cut to him in South America, and you see kind of the other guys around, and they're just working for this oil company.
Well, then that guy Milo
shows up. Yeah.
Milo, he just chooses to show up there.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Like, his prologue is the shortest. He just goes in the elevator and sees a guy and shoots him. And then when he shows up, people are like, oh, this fucking guy's here. I'm like, what? I didn't know the deal with this guy. I guess he was just hiding out, or did he have an assignment? I don't know.
It's left.
I think if you pay attention, the guy he kills is pretty important. So
Marquez is, before they leave, he kills Marquez and just like takes their place. His place.
Marquez is like a Nazi.
Oh.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but he's also not a great guy that he kills.
Yeah, no, they're all bad people in this little, village here. So they set up the whole thing. You see the oil well explode, and it's a fantastic fucking explosion and fire, just continually fire tornado coming out of there.
What I thought of, the two things I thought of. One, if they did it now, that'd be CGI.
Yes.
But two, if I was thinking about how much pollution that thing must have cost,
all that
doing
fucking
explosion.
Yes, all that smoke coming out, and I'm like, you're gonna let that thing burn for days, and the only way to stop it is to blow up more shit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a reverse fire thing. I don't know how that.
I don't know. We would need we'd maybe Adam Morris or someone that's sciencey can tell us how dynamite takes out fire.
It's like you got to fight.
No,
fire
they got to close
with fire.
It's oil that's coming up, and it's lit on fire.
So they'll collapse.
They can't put it out. So
they
have to collapse the tunnel.
Gotcha. Okay.
The oil well explosion was very cool.
Yeah, and looked very dangerous and looked like why the ozone. There's a hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah, above South America right now. That looked practical as shit.
Like even the stuff that happened in the Middle East, that looked kind of pretty real.
Real.
Yeah,
and the car accident looked pretty brutal, even though you could tell it was a dummy. But it's pretty crazy.
It is like how it's kind of like how he shot it, right? It's almost like documentary like. It's very cinema verite, handheld. You're right there in the action, which I loved all that. I love that they had the tryouts for the drivers and then they picked the 4. And then not only that, they had to build their own fucking trucks. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they had to build a truck. There's a truck building sequence.
They're like, you get the job. Now you need to build your fucking truck. I was like, they don't even fucking.
How manly is that?
Yeah. From different parts
That's
of
some
trucks.
manly shit right there.
This is where the name of the movie comes from. One of the trucks is named Sorcerer and the other one is named Lazaro.
It's a terrible name for the movie.
It's a horrible name. It does not tell you anything.
Well, Lazarus is Lazaro.
Yeah. That would have been a better name. Call it Lazarus.
And that's like to be raised from the dead, right? So
you could have called it Lazarus.
The Lazarus pit.
So, yeah, they build the trucks. Fucking Nilo kills Marquez, and he is in 2 trucks, 2 drivers each. The cases of dynamite are in sand, which also I was like, oh, very smart. There's something absorbing it because they are bouncing around a lot, but there's a little absorption. And then you get to the point where they reach the fork in the road and just the whole, these little roads they built, the little bridges that are collapsing as they're driving over. The tension is so crazy. And they're like, which way do we go? And they picked the wrong road, which is what Jackie Scanlon
Did they do
says.
that bridge twice? Like they actually made a fake river.
Yes.
And everything. And then something happened and they had to rebuild it somewhere else.
Yes. So these 2 scenes are the fucking best scenes in the movie. They take this truck over this rickety bridge in a storm and then they do it again. Here's the story. They
do it again?
Well, the other truck has to come. Yeah. So it's not just one truck. The other truck's behind them.
What happens before that, but let's not get too far ahead. It's like there's a fork in the road.
Yes.
And they're all like, oh, we're going to go this way. We're going to go that way. But it all leads back to that fucking bridge. You can't avoid it.
Well, when he gets to the bridge.
Oh, did they separate? Is that what happened?
No. They both go the same way. But
what is he saying?
Yeah.
What did Ruggs just say?
What'd you say, Ruggs?
I thought they took different roads.
No, they both went the same way because they were right behind them at all these marks. Like they went over the bridge. They both went the same way. They did not separate. That's what I got.
Oh, okay.
Because when they get
Wasn't
to
there like a little like wooden thing that they went on before that too?
Yes, there was a little like a little tree bridge or like built out of tree trunks that they had to kind of go across this corner and it was like collapsing.
Right.
As they were driving and they got to work together. They're like, you got to go out there and fucking direct me. But when Roy Scheider gets to that first bridge, he's like, we took the wrong road, which is really funny.
No, but I think that they wanted the other team to get blown up so they could get the share of the money.
Well, that was the thing is like he tells them, he goes, one's just a backup, isn't it? They just need one case to actually get there.
Well, yeah, when Roy Scheider's character and the Palestinian dude make it across that bridge, they're both basically like, there's no way that Roy and Nilo make it through.
Yeah.
Roy is not the character's name in the movie, by the way.
Yes, Jackie.
Jackie. Well, what's his Hispanic name in the movie?
It was like Juan Rodriguez or something.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. When they make it across the bridge, they're like, there's no way those other guys are making it across. We're getting double shares.
Yeah,
now.
He goes, double shares. We're getting double shares. There's no way. And those fucking guys make it across through. Although fucking Kassim almost falls into the fucking drink there.
So they think they're in the clear, and then that fucking tree, that giant tree is in the way.
Then there's a huge tree, and they're
then
like,
he freaks out. He starts freaking out and trying to chop down the
He's
fucking
like, we can
forest.
cut around it. You cannot cut around this tree.
Well, with the bridge, the only thing I'll say is the whole like story around the dynamite and you needing to be careful and they can't helicopter it.
Yeah.
How does it survive being on that bridge? Is it just because
they should have blown up a million times?
Yes, they should have blown up before they got to the bridge. I was like, you're telling me a helicopter wouldn't be as like it's safer to drive this thing 218 miles?
Yeah.
Why could you put it? The helicopter didn't bounce around that much. What the fuck? But it should have blown up several times along the way. Yes. And it's all like he sticks his hand in there and like, does that also work? Or if you get nitroglycerin on your hand and you flick it, like a little explosion goes off? I don't know.
I don't know anything about dynamite.
Man, I would play with some dynamite. Just a little pyro. Not leaky dynamite. Anyways, this whole bridge stunt, right? They get to South America. They built this whole bridge off site. They take it apart. They bring it to South America. They put it on this river. They find a spot. The minute they put it up, the river fucking dries out. It never dries out. They get a historic drought. They're like, fuck. So then they take it apart and they find another spot in Mexico. And they put the thing in Mexico and they find a great place with a raging river. And again, the fucking river dries out. A river that traditionally never dries out. There's a historic drought. So they're like, fuck, what do we do? So they actually pumped in all that water. And that rain is fake, and the bridge was on hydraulics. The truck is attached to the bridge, and they're just using the hydraulics to tip it over. But if I've learned, a lot of the guys, even William Friedkin himself, fell into the river. The truck fell into the river a couple of times. People fell into the river. Not only that, they were getting sick from dysentery. They got malaria.
Oh, yeah.
There was fucking like South American cartels making things dangerous. They had to be careful. This was a hell movie to make, from what I understand of the behind the scenes. But
they can never make it like this now.
No, you'd never do it like this. I mean, those trucks.
But it adds to the grit. It adds to the grime. I don't even, like you said, I don't know if it's even possible to make this kind of movie.
Yeah,
like you probably can't. But that's where this movie shines. Is that the practicality and the verisimilitude, as Ruggs would say, where you feel. I mean, it's there. You can see it. You can feel the humidity. You can feel the greenery. You can feel
that they're scared on that bridge because they're like, we don't know if this fucking thing's gonna fall apart.
Yeah,
right. I mean, even like the little things, like when Jackie's character gets all pissed off, he starts cutting things, and he goes into like a sinkhole, and he's still just cutting things. It's like all these little things like that.
Yeah, the way the planks pop and like the sound of the rope and the rope popping, and it's like you're white knuckling it. You're like, holy shit, what the fuck? There's no way they're going to get across this bridge. It's fantastic. It's not even miniatures. There's no CGI. There's no green screen. They just fucking did it and filmed it. That's fucking crazy. And then you get to the tree, and they need a big explosion here. And I kind of like the idea to sacrifice a case, and they got Kessim, who's the demolitions expert, and they had to bring in an actual demolitions expert who flew in with even more dynamite. They didn't have enough explosives to blow that tree up for the movie, so this guy came in with more explosives and blew that fucking tree up for real.
I'd like to understand how that dynamite explodes with a rock hitting it.
Friction.
Is it just because the rock hits the other rock and causes a spark?
Well, so what they did was that, and I love how you saw him build that whole kind of little trap with the rock. He puts the case next to it and pokes a hole, and you see the nitroglycerin drip out onto the rock underneath it. So it's just a sharp contact with the old wet nitroglycerin, the actual explosive material. So, and I think that's all you need.
Nitroglycerin, it could be triggered by shock, friction, or even heat.
There you go. So
it's like super unstable.
Yeah.
And
you can hit it with a hammer, it'll explode.
Yes. So it's like, any kind of like sharp movement or friction will cause it to detonate.
Well, maybe that's why in the trucks they have it in the sand, so it doesn't like move as much.
Yeah, because I was like, this truck is so bumpy. How has it not exploded? They show you there's sand. absorbing some of it. I'm like, all right, fine. I mean,
I wish this movie would have had, because I think the best parts are when is the second half.
Yeah.
Like I think the first half is good.
Yeah.
But I wish the couple of things I wish the movie would have had those four characters interact with each other more.
Yeah.
Like, it's very silent, which is a choice.
Yeah. There's not a lot of dialogue.
I would have liked to seen these four bounce off of each other. You only get to see the four of them in like one or two couple scenes, but then the rest of the movie, they're split up or they're all doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I don't really get you get a very brief understanding of like the dynamics between them, but I think there could have been more there.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but that would have made the movie more than 2 hours.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you need like the whole, I think the beginning is fine, but I don't know if you need, like, there's a part there in the like first half where after you do the intros,
yeah,
where they're kind of you're just kind of seeing what the town is like.
Yes.
And I don't know if you need all that.
You could cut right to like the well exploding and start the story.
Maybe that you can tighten it up there.
Well, they had to kind of like, I think they had to show that they were like kind of stuck there in like purgatory.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's like, where you learn they can't leave. They don't have enough money. It is a purgatory for all of them, right? This is where it's brought them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you get
maybe when they were fixing the car or something, they could have like
they could have talked. Yeah, they could have had some lines, but you're just kind of hanging out. But you had to establish like that they're what their stakes are, and then you get the tryouts and like there's a lot leading up to the good parts. So you do get what's funny is you get Kasim and Victor or Serrano, the French guy, when they're in the truck, they're kind of. There's a moment where he's talking about his kids and his wife, and he's revealed all this. They're about to die, and then their tire blows. Then they just fucking go off the side and explode. And I was like, oh, we've been spending time with these guys, and then just all of a sudden, boom.
So it's probably like one of the more unceremonious deaths of main characters that you're going to follow. Because I when they're talking about that stuff, I was like, these guys are going to make it. We're going to see. And literally, it's just like, boom, they're dead.
They just blow up just right away. You're like, oh, fuck. I just started to like these guys. They're learning about them.
But it seemed like to me the director was like, that was obviously a choice. Yeah. And they're going with, there's no glory for these guys. No, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. They're not going to go out like heroes. They just went out like nothing. It was they're a drop of sand in the universe.
There's collateral damage on this mission, and they
were absolutely nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah.
This isn't and you even get into the ending, but this isn't. There's no redemption for any of these.
There's no redemption. They don't save the day. Nothing comes out of it. It's just meaningless and cruel.
But when they're in it, it was like this task that they had to do, this mission almost.
They had to work together.
It had given them something. Yes. It had given them something to live for.
Yeah. Yep. Or live
but they were, but like even what they're doing is basically to put out a fire at an oil well for an American company that's taking advantage of another company.
Yep.
Like of another country. Like there's nothing honorable about even what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just doing, it's just brave.
Isn't this?
But is it even brave? It's just maybe even just dumb.
It's
like they're
dumb,
just doing something dumb.
Yeah.
They're desperate.
Yep.
And this is like pretty much unlike anything that's made today.
Right.
Every movie has to have some kind of sympathetic thing or kind of shining a light on something that we never thought before or blah, blah, blah. This isn't doing any of that.
Well, there is like I would say like the Safdies, like Uncut Gems has got this kind of energy.
Absolutely.
Where it's a bad guy.
Yep.
Making up for trying to get money to cover up the bad things.
Yeah. There's
nothing redeemable about him. Like you don't get a ton. Like the 70s were full of this type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the energy that's really pervasive right now.
Yeah. This would be like an A24 movie. You made it today. You'd have to.
Right.
Almost. But yeah, it's guys who are flawed and desperate, and how desperate are they going to get? What are they going to do? And you see it. So those guys explode, and then
but that's the thing, though. Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
That's the whole, I guess, charm of the movie.
That's the genre.
Nothing's good about these guys yet. I'm sure all of us watching this movie, or us three, I can't speak for everyone. And a lot of people on Letterboxd, you're riveted by it, and you're like, I want to see these guys get through this. And it's like, Why? Why do I want to see these guys get through it? These guys suck.
And at some point,
the only guy that's actually like kind of okay is the French guy.
Right.
You know, he's got at least a wife, and you feel sorry that he had to just leave his wife in the middle of dinner and never see her again.
Yeah.
But everyone else.
Yeah.
You're like, they're just, you know.
Jackie's a gangster. He's like a white collar criminal, right? Maybe the least offensive. But at some point,
maybe his crimes might have affected the most people, right?
Yes,
so you don't even know.
That's true. He could have embezzled money from like really poor, deserving, or whatever, a whole community. But then you got fucking Roy Scheider, who's just straight up fucking Irish gangster. Running from the mob. And I think around this part of the movie, you kind of start to root for, I think, Roy Scheider's character more than Nilo. So after
Nilo, there's nothing really.
No, he's just a fucking hitman.
Right.
Who killed.
And then the Palestinian guy is like, you know.
Yeah.
Hero in his own mind.
Right. He's a freedom fighter / terrorist, right? That is trying to.
Terrorist to some, freedom fighter to others. Yeah. You know? So
Kasim and Victor explode, and then the other two get attacked by like militant guerrillas, armed militia in the middle of the forest who want to steal the shit in the truck. They think it's something valuable. There is a shootout. Nilo gets shot. Jackie manages to kill all of them somehow. And Nilo is dying, and then they just...
Well, Nilo takes out 2 or 3 of them.
He does with his... Because he had a gun. I forget, did Jackie have a gun? No, he kind of like beat him up.
No, he chops the dude's neck with like a shovel or...
That's right.
He shovels
him, and there's just bodies, and they just drive over the bodies.
And then he gets shot, and then like... He's awkwardly put into the truck.
Yeah, he shoves him back into the truck.
Is he like sitting? Is he like laying with his head towards the driver?
Yeah, his legs are out the door. And and his head would be in his lap, right?
That was so weird.
That's what it looked like.
It looked painful.
I was like, why are you even taking him? He's going to bleed out. Just fucking leave him in the forest.
Movie gets really weird there.
Then Jackie continues driving through some crazy alien-like landscape. I don't know where they shot this shit. These crazy fucking rock structures that look like he was on the moon.
And he's like
or
tripping.
Mars.
He's like
he's losing his mind.
Like a moment. Yeah.
It's like, where am I? What am I doing? And they're fading the landscape over his face as he loses his mind and gets trippy. And then his truck breaks down. And I love how you could easily keep track of how far they got to go, because he writes 218 in chalk above the speedometer there, and it reads 216, and he's 2 miles away, and the truck breaks down, and then what's the next thing you see is just this black screen, and slowly you see fucking Roy Scheider limping forward, carrying 1 case of dynamite for 2 miles, carries the last box and makes it and survives. And then we just cut to like a prologue where he gets a Colombian passport. He gets paid. He's wearing a nice white suit. He gets offered another job. He dances with some random fucking lady there. And then you go outside and you see the henchman and his friend Vinny from the beginning, from the prologue.
Sold him out.
Have found him. They're in the street. And I think you hear a gunshot. Right? Yeah, it's a wide shot. Overall shot. It's pulling back. You see them go into the building. And Jackie doesn't make it.
The gangster that he killed, or the gangster that he pissed off, that was his brother that he'd shot, or he was involved in the shooting of. So the guy had vowed to kill him by any cost. And
that guy
boy souls him out again. It's just
his boy. It was his boy Vinny. It was his friend.
But again, it's just the whole thing is like these guys.
Yeah,
they were never going to win.
Yeah.
There was no redemption for any of these guys.
No, so they all end up fucking dying, and there's no happy ending. Which is just a crazy way to end this movie. Everybody gets...
Yeah, they don't do that either.
No, I know. No one would dare end a movie like that now.
Well, again, the one movie I think of is Uncut Gems, when Adam Sandler gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
Right when when he wins.
Yeah, that's why it was such a throwback. It was very much like a 70s film.
That and Marty Supreme are like these kind of 70s movies.
Marty Supreme has a little bit more of an up... I mean, it's a despicable guy, but it's more uplifting.
The end is more hopeful.
Yeah, this is just straight like, hey, I want to punch you in the stomach for the entire movie, and you're going to kind of like it.
Yeah, and speaking of Safdie, both Safdie and Quentin Tarantino have gone on record about how they think this is the greatest movie. They love this movie, so you could see both of them kind of pulling inspiration
Do you guys don't talk too much about the 70s types movies? Do you like these kinds of movies?
I love these kind of movies.
Well, I mean, The Godfather is a 70s movie. I love that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, The Conversation, you got, Marathon Man, all these, The Long Goodbye. There's a lot of movies that are like just 70s shit. Zardos, that's a fucking crazy ass movie.
Yeah, I even love stuff like Harold and Maude, which is a really dark 70s. Apocalypse Now. Some of the Woody Allen
Taxi
shit.
Driver.
Taxi Driver.
Your Hunter.
There's a lot, like even his movies, French Connection, Exorcist,
Thief.
I mean, there's a theme though, right? Where these aren't hopeful movies.
No.
And they're usually smaller, like filmed on like location. So like in a sense bigger, like, but smaller stories like about people. Because again, these are rebelling against those big movies from the 50s and 60s that were,
this is what people wanted.
Type movies.
Yeah, people wanted to go see fucked up people. Clockwork Orange is another one. But this was the kind of thing that, like, it's crazy to think this is what people wanted. They wanted to see these stories.
Because in those movies in the prior,
right?
The 50s, 60s, you were just getting big studio movies that were kind of similar to today, where it's like, we want to hit all these quadrants.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that everyone's enjoying themselves, having a good time, but you're not telling like actual personal stories.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing a slow kind of return of that, a revival, I think.
It's all cyclical. I bet.
Yeah.
I think that there was a product era, like in the 60s, there was like a product era. And where like, and then the 80s was a huge product era, 90s, huge product era. But then like when Quentin Tarantino came in and started doing the indie thing and started being the mouthpiece for indie, it got people back into the indie stuff. And you saw like the Fargo and all that stuff come out, which is very much like a crime.
Yep. Crime
stuff,
noir.
Like, crime noir. So like it had a resurgence. And, when the Joker came out and people were like, why would you make a movie about a bad guy? I'm like, well, haven't you watched any Martin Scorsese movies?
This is like, two of them.
Yeah. But that didn't catch on. They there wasn't like a whole revival after the Joker came out of like these types of movies. People still wanted, everybody gets caught up in like these movies and what they mean. And I guess, what does it mean if you watch this type of movie? Is it good for people to watch a movie like this?
Right.
And I think that this movie is cool because it's variety. You need a variety. You can't just watch the same old, like we just watched, what's that called? Project whatever?
Hail Mary.
And that's like a feel good movie. You feel great after that. It does its job. And, this is the complete opposite of that. I mean, I don't know how much more opposite.
Yeah. I mean, I think people need to watch movies like this.
Yeah,
like
one movie's in space and hopeful and about friendship. The other is in the jungle about people that are despicable.
Leaky dynamite.
Leaky that are out to try and selfishly get themselves out of the hole that they created and to try and skirt any kind of responsibility or accountability for what they've done.
Yeah. Alternate castings. He originally wanted Steve McQueen for the Roy Scheider part. That was the first choice. And Steve McQueen didn't want to go to the jungle for 3 months and leave his family. So he turned it down. Other people, Robert Mitchum considered Clint Eastwood, Jack Nicholson. Either of those two.
That would have been a game changer.
I don't know if the movie gets bigger.
If they don't call it Sorcerer,
yes,
and they have Jack Nicholson in it, it's a different movie.
So Sorcerer is also a Miles Davis album, and William Friedkin has talked about how the title, it fit in his mind, the theme of the movie. He says, quote, the sorcerer is an evil wizard, and in this case, the evil wizard is fate. The fact that somebody can walk out of their front door and a hurricane can take them away, an earthquake or something falling through the roof, and the idea that we don't really have control over our own fates, neither our births nor our deaths. It is something that has haunted me since I was intelligent enough to contemplate something like it. So I get what he's trying to do, but like,
still don't buy it.
It doesn't make sense because people are thinking it's a fucking movie about magic. Naming it that. What's a better title? What's a better title?
It's the wrong title for this movie.
The wrong title. What's a better title? Wages of Fear was what the book and the other movie was called. I don't like that title either. I think
I think you should call it Hell Drive.
Hell Drive is interesting.
That's it.
I think I'm not the title person, but the Sorcerer is wrong.
Anything
bad title.
Or Hell Ride, either one.
Hell Ride, Jungle Cruise. No, you can call it Lazarus, but that's also doesn't tell you anything.
No. Naming it the name of one of the trucks.
Yeah.
When it doesn't make any sense.
No. Yeah. Yeah. The titles. This is a tough one, and I mean that the title, the timing. I feel like that's the couple of the reasons this thing kind of slipped through the cracks for many years, because I think people think it's like a fucking masterpiece now, and it is kind of an underseen gem of a movie made by a guy who made fucking French Connection and The Exorcist, and then he does this. All right, Grillometer, better or worse with Frank Grillo?
If they made a remake, Grillo's got to be the guy. He's got to be the main guy.
Yeah, Frank Grillo's absolutely
he's
the main guy.
He's getting chased by the mob. He's hiding out somewhere in South America.
Absolutely.
He's trying to dance with the old lady. He's doing it all Frank Grillo style.
Yeah.
And I'm there for it.
He's doing spin kicks and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. He's taking that last batch of TNT by foot.
Ew, what kind of cast would be in the rest of this movie if you made it today? Like, they had these.
Who would you cast as the Nazi? The old Nazi. John Lithgow? Like, what is that?
Lithgow's a good bad guy.
John Lithgow's, how old is he?
Or John Malkovich, maybe? Is the old
Malkovich
Nazi?
could be one of them, maybe. He's also getting up there.
Who's the guy who's the terrorist dude? He's gonna play him?
Michael Cera. No, I don't know.
Is it Riz Ahmed? Like, who's playing?
You got to roll for Tom Cruise in there, maybe? No.
Yeah.
There's a number, but like to use these nameless people, I think kind of worked.
Well, you know that Pedro Pascal's going to be in.
Oh, he's in everything. Yeah. So Pedro's definitely in it.
Pedro Pascal's Nilo.
Yeah. He'll be the hitman.
Yeah.
Right.
And then who plays the French guy? Jesse Plemons. There you go.
Jesse Plemons plays the French guy.
He will get an Oscar nomination.
Dude, that's a great movie.
Yeah. Right.
No, this movie totally could be remade and you could do something with it.
The thing is, they would use the volume and fucking green screens and miniatures and CGI, and you could just tell, and it wouldn't look as good.
Well, you wouldn't do it in the jungle. You would do it somewhere else.
Okay.
You'd want to change up the setting.
You have to do it in the Middle East.
Or the desert. Yeah, you could do the desert or in like Siberia. Well, there's like the Liam Neeson Ice Road movies also. There's like a whole series of those.
No.
He's just driving a big rig over fucking ice roads. There's like 7 of them. All right. Anthony, your final thoughts. Give me a number. What'd you give this?
Yeah, this is a movie you can certainly tell that this is a 70s movie, a different era of filmmaking, an era of filmmaking. 70s movies I have gotten more into as time's gone along. I would say younger me and even me 4 or 5 years ago would have been like, these 70s movies are just dreary and boring.
Yeah.
And now I have an appreciation for them after seeing not only this one, but a few, Dog Day Afternoon and
fantastic movie.
After Hours.
After Hours.
After Hours is 80s, but good enough. One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest and all those types of movies, Deer Hunter and Taxi Driver. So I have a new appreciation for 70s movies. I'll probably catch more at some point. You definitely have to be in the right mood. Like, I'm not going to just throw this movie on and be like, I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to watch this movie. I like it. I think it's fun. I wish, like I said earlier, I wish we would have got more of the 4 characters together.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's a thrilling movie at times, and it's also a dreary movie. I would go 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Very, very solid.
Okay, Ruggs.
Well, I enjoy this movie. I think it was good. The cast is a little bit, we would have had some of these names in here. I think it would have probably been a little bit better. The title doesn't help. We could have used a little bit more interaction with the guys there. And I think all things considered, though, you have a spectacular film. It is, I was not like looking forward to watching this movie. I'm like, this is going to be one of these movies. But once I put it on, I was in. I was like into it, and I was like, oh shit. And then when things were blowing up and when things were happening, I'm like, wow, that looks real. Even though I know maybe there's miniatures involved.
Yeah.
Like that's shot really well. And it had a lot of impact. And then, it felt sweaty. It felt dirty. I felt like that, even this fake place that they made in wherever they fucking made it felt real. And I felt like the desperation. I felt like the loneliness and the fact that they wanted to try and get away with something. They wanted to get away with what they've done. And, I was like, oh, they don't make movies like this anymore. Yeah. So I'm going to also go 7.5. I think it's a strong recommend. If you like movies if you can watch a movie from the 70s and you have the attention span, I think you should check it out. There's so many movies from the 70s though. There's so many great ones. Watch The Godfather, watch any Martin Scorsese movie from that time, watch any movie from freaking, they're all great.
Yeah, I love this movie. There are scenes where you watch and you're like, how the fuck did they do that? The effects, wasn't there was a man on fire at one point, right? When it blows up? Yeah. They did
that scene where the oil well blows up and people are just on fire. I was like,
man on fire for a long time too. I was like, dude, when they do man on fire, I always appreciate it because that's fucking dangerous. So there's a dude on fire. All the truck stuff is fantastic and white knuckle. The tension is great. I would give this an 8.5. I'm at 8.5.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think everyone should watch it. It's like I feel like it slipped through the cracks, but for the practical effects, for the grittiness, or just the way they used to make movies, they don't make it anymore. It's fucking good. I enjoy it. I like it.
Wow.
I like it.
We all liked it.
Yeah. Thanks, Keegan Martin, for the pick. It's a very good pick and appreciate the Patreon support there, buddy.